Hello everyone, welcome to another vlog episode. I'm Brian Kaiser Tillman, as you probably know, but just in case you're new here, my name is Brian Kaiser Tillman, and I kind of do these vlogs a little bit differently than most people. It's mostly just confessionals, confessional style videos of me just talking about the day, the business, and stuff like that. I'm hoping to get more focused as far as things to talk about, but in the meantime, I'll just going through the day-to-day basis of what I do and how I get there, and I'll talk about things like motivation and stuff like that. But I don't want to go into it again. I have other videos where I talk about what I plan on doing, but now it's time to definitely get started. One thing that I really plan on doing is trying to make sure that I sit myself down at least Monday through Friday and film one of these every day to talk about just the journey of being an artist and a father or a professor like me. So I'm a teacher, and so that's my day job, and then I do all this art stuff on the side, and I have a big family, and I want people to know that what you guys see when you see me out there, it's not always what happens. Like there will be times where I do a lot of work, there'll be times where I do like no work, and today I'll have some work to show you, so we'll cycle through some of that. I only was able to accomplish three images today, but I think that was good whilst I was still teaching all day and stuff like that, and I was able to do a lot of emails trying to get to be a speaker in a lot more places, and I'm trying to branch out from just comics because some of the things that I talk about definitely touch on a lot of different people, especially entrepreneurs who are trying to get their name out there and stuff like that. I really believe that my proper pitching and promoting yourself lecture would do really well with people who are just trying to make an opportunity out of nothing. And so I actually applied to be a speaker at the Small Business Expo, and they meet all around the United States, but I'm going to see if I can get into the DC one because that's close to home, and I don't know what their policy is, but if they actually fly people out and get people to the location to speak, then I'll gladly go to some other things. One of the big things that has happened for me this week is that I've switched to a traveler's notebook, and what this is just a way to categorize a lot of my thoughts and stuff, because normally what I did do is I had everything in this, I had everything in the sketchbook, and in previous episodes, like before, I had a planner, and I was trying to plan my day and stuff like that. And it was really working, but it was cumbersome to be taking around everywhere, and I just couldn't take it to meetings and stuff. And so my wife turned me on to this traveler's notebook, which actually works a lot better for me because now I have a separate book for my planners stuff, and then I have a separate book for my tracker, and then I'm going to have a separate book for like character development and stuff like that. And I'm going to try and do some fonts, I think. So I'm going to use the grid to do some fonts and stuff. And then this little booklet that I made myself for notes and stuff, which just came into handy just today. I needed it. And so I'll be looking into a lot more of these. I know there are a lot different sizes, but this one right now, it fits in my pocket. This traveler's notebook is awesome. I think that I personally would like to have some thicker elastic on here, but I watched some YouTube videos and realized you can make these, and it's not actually that difficult to make them. It's a lot of measurement and stuff like that, but if you can get what you want, maybe a thicker leather, harder back, and stuff like that. So you might actually be seeing a video of me making a traveler's notebook to fit my needs, and so that would be really cool. And I have this little samurai sword that was given to me from a Kickstarter campaign, and it's really cool, and so I figured I'd put it onto my traveler's notebook because especially, we're coming up into Ninja Empire territory. In 2 short months I'll be doing a lot more work for that, so I figured might as well have my samurai sword with me at all times, and if I had a bigger band I'd get it to stay a little bit put. So that's a little bit interesting when it's flopping around and stuff, but it's still pretty cool. So I'm definitely doing that because I plan on upping my productivity, and whenever there's a time to like, oh well, I can develop this world or this character or do a doodle for a creature or something, I don't have to try and go to another sketchbook. I don't have to go somewhere else, and then if it's like, oh, I have notes, I can actually flip to the different book and put my notes in there, and so I can keep everything separate, but it's all in one spot, which I think is very, very helpful. So we'll see how my productivity goes up, but we're gonna definitely switch to that and see what happens. And then I'm gonna give you a sneak peek. Now this isn't the official one. They had to try and change the colors and whatnot, but this is something I'm working on, okay? And all it is a sketchbook, very thin sketchbook, but this, I'll have a bigger update on it when I get a little bit further into it, but it's a community that I'm trying to start, like an art community that I'm trying to get off the ground. And I hope that you guys who are watching will at least tell people who are interested in doing art or join this your own, yourself, and know that I'm trying to get sponsors, which I already have one, which I guess I'll let leak now. Sakura of America actually is one of the sponsors for this project, and they've actually donated some stuff, which is really cool, which I will then be able to pass on to some lucky people who participate in this event. So definitely stay tuned. I know no later than the beginning of November will I have a video go up telling everyone what this project is about and stuff like that. So definitely be on the lookout for that. With that said, one of the things that I really need to talk about is trying to multitask. And I know that a lot of people will say that multitasking is something that you do, like, oh, well, I'm cooking while on the phone, while teaching math and juggling and stuff like that. And that's true, that is multitasking, but I think that as an artist, multitasking is actually having like multiple projects running. Like as I'm filming right now, I'm rendering another video that needs to go up on YouTube for tomorrow. And so I'm filming this, and then I'm doing that. I'm working on my planner. I have another project that I was working on. So the day I see is a big multitasking ability. And if you're willing to just plan out your day, or at least have a plan of attack, so if you need to just have a to-do list, or if you use a planner, or if you use your phone, your iPhone, your Android, whatever the case may be, but if you have some goals that you're trying to hit, then your day will become more productive. And I think that that is truly multitasking, when you can actually just go, I need to do this, I need to do that, I can go here, and I can remember this, remember that, and I go back and forth, and I try and get as much stuff done as possible. And I don't need to do it all at the same time. I just need to get it done. So if you're willing to commit to multitasking, and I really believe that the commitment comes from holding yourself accountable. And I know that you're not going to punish yourself if you don't do something, but it should roll over to the next day. You know, it's like, oh, well, I need to get this done. Or, oh, I need to get that done. So I really think that everyone can be very productive if you are willing to put the time into it. And I think that that's the one thing that most people get wrong when they're like, oh, I'm going to multitask, I'm going to try and do all these things at the same time, versus I'm just going to make sure that I get a lot done in the amount of time that I have available. Because there are people who get a lot more done, and then everyone looks at them as being very productive and they can multitask and all that stuff. But if you look at me, I don't necessarily multitask. I do a lot of tasks in a day. And so in the end, if I present to you, it's like, oh, look at all the stuff that I've done, then it's like, oh, wow, you're really good at multitasking. But I can tell you, if you ask my wife, she'll tell you absolutely not. Which, you know, I can agree with. I'm not very good with trying to do multiple things all at the same time. But I do get a lot done, okay? And that's why I'm very, 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 very happy that my wife has turned me on to this whole planning thing and Traveler's Notebook, because as a guy who had lists, I would have lists everywhere. Like, oh, well, I'll put something on a post-it note here, and I'll put something over there. It's kind of like my drawings in my sketchbook, so I'm just everywhere. I had drawings here, there, and everywhere. But with this, it's all organized. It's in one spot. I can actually look at it, go, nope, yep, oh, I finished that, and that's great. So, all in all, if you're trying to become more productive, the first thing you need to do is actually set some goals that you can actually obtain. And then people will think that you're this awesome multitasker because you were able to get so much done in just a short amount of time. So definitely, you know, try and get some means of getting your work done. And if you can do that, then I guarantee you people will start saying that you're more productive. And that's all we want, right? We want to seem more productive. We want to be more productive. So first thing you got to do is set some goals so that you can actually do it. Well, I guess that's enough for today, and I will come back with something else for you next video, and hopefully I'll have some more artwork, but if not, I'll definitely have a good topic to talk about. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.